Welcome, creatures of all ages. I am wide awake now. My deepest apologies for not streaming yesterday because doesn't matter. No one's here right now, which is okay because the VOD gang is always there. But yesterday I was actually um, um uh, just struggling with sleep yet again because my sleep cycle is hopelessly warped due to my late work hours, and I am trying to catch up with my work at my day job, since my day job is asynchronous. But here I am now. I am Zosimus Tarkus, the warlord of Thrax. For thousands of years, I've lived among you and fought in your battles, from the mires of Germania to the deserts of Bactria. But now the time has come for me to lay down my arms and teach the youths of humanity about the lessons I have learned, the peoples I have met, and the civilizations I have seen rise and fall. But yeah, we are continuing the campaign of Kush, where we are going to destroy the enemies of the Kandake. So, like I said, very interesting, underappreciated culture of the ancient world, and possibly one of the most glorious and probably one of the most glorious and advanced civilizations and compared to the rest of the world in the history of this country of Sudan, because a large part of its history was actually under the occupation of the Ottomans, along with, of course, Makuria afterwards, and Makuria and Aksum. No, not Aksum. Aksum is like in Ethiopia. But anyways, yesterday I was talking quite a bit about the resistance of the people and queen of Kush against the Romans. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the other really high point of Kushite history, which is the 25th dynasty, when Kush came into control of Egypt and turned into sort of it's not really an empire, but a double kingdom, a joint kingdom of Egypt and Kush under a single ruler, a single pharaoh. Anyways, but first, for anyone who's just tuning in, and what I usually this campaign isn't just going to be about Kush, about the Kandake. It's also going to be about me, because I am thousands of years old, and I was there. I was advising the Kandake in her defense against the Romans. So, this particular campaign is an alternate version of me in an alternate universe where Kush becomes much greater than it actually did turn out to be. But anyways, last we left off. Hold on. But yeah, last we left off, first of all, this is me. Me. I have the power to, to take upon the form and memories of fallen warriors I come across, and through that way, I have drifted across history fighting in your battles, sometimes as a soldier, sometimes as a warlord, an advisor. But yeah, at this point, my alternate self is taking the name of Gauda, a noble, a Kushite noble. Kushite nobility and noble families, these are the same people. Alright. But yeah, anyways, is in the last section of the campaign, what we ended up doing was conquering the rest of Ethiopia. I will point out that Ethiopia is a catch-all term at this point for all of Africa, south Black Africa, south of Egypt, than the Black Africans that live there, in not just Ethiopia but also Sudan and Eritrea. But yeah, this is largely a story of my adventures, which means that if I die, then I am going to be safe scumming. Anyways, let's... So what I usually do with the beginning of every session, every stream, is that I set up a prompt, a story prompt, for exactly what it's going to go and what my character is doing at this point. So let's see. At this point, I am outspoken and headstrong. I'm going to attempt to gain influence for myself. The story begins in a forest. Interesting. Someone is haunted by a traumatic experience at sea. And the team theme is infidelity. Alright. But, yeah. Hold on a second. A traumatic experience at sea. I wonder what that means. Alright, in that case, how about this? We are going to go across the sea and join in the in the Mamluk and Nabata's war against the Seleucids. Now let's hold on. Let me check something. Supply ships. I can indeed get supply ships. Okay. So yeah, let's start building a navy. Oh, first of all, at this point in history, I did have a wife. I did get into political marriages at time, even though I'm maidenless now. I did get into political marriages at time, and whether or not I had children or whether I was fertile at all, I adopted, those things are redacted from my memories for some reason. But for all I know, like, a small percent or even half of all people in of all of humanity could be my descendants, if of course I'm even capable of reproducing. But okay, so at this point I am a tribal chief. I am a chief. I am a tribal chief. I have a small dynasty, and like I said, I have a wife. Her name is Takahata Mani. Alright, she is a warrior just like me. And she is a strategist just like me. Oh, one thing to know, in this version of Kush, women are allowed to fight and command armies. Now, of course, how much of that is true is debatable in history, but one thing we do know for sure is that the Kandaukid probably did go out to fight occasionally. Supposedly Queen Amanirenas in her war with the Romans did actually lead armies by herself. But yeah, let's build a navy. Takahata Mani. Heavy African Marines. I'm just going. So all I'm really going to do at this point is build a small, convoy, so I can get some supply ships. Now, anyways, let's see. Let's take part in my new friend's war.
Welcome, friend. Welcome. Come, sit. Enjoy the pleasures of my home, and let us find a cause.
Okay. Military access, non-aggression pact. We are now best friends. Wait on a second. Apparently, since my since my faction leader is female, I can actually get her. I can actually pull off a political marriage to one of her. And since he's single, I can actually pull off a political marriage with her, but well, with an allied faction to make a permanent alliance. But let's see. How powerful is he anyways? Anyways, let's hold on from that right now. Anyways, let's just pull off an let's just do an alliance.
Will be answered likewise.
And I will join. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Military access. And how much can I shake them down for? No, just kidding. I'm not shaking them down for there. I'm getting a small payment, a gift for in exchange for joining them in their war.
A treaty would be an arrow shot with deadly intent against our mutual enemies.
Okay.
A treaty would be an arrow.
Okay, screw it. I'm just going to join in. I do want military access. I just want. I don't want to actually conquer these places. I just want to go and pillage, because let's just say that. Let's just say a Seleucid merchant and a merchant. I think these are the ones, they're the ones in control of these areas. A Seleucid envoy ended up. A group of Seleucid envoys ended up. A bunch of Seleucid marines mistook one of a ship hired by a group of merchants to by a group of my merchants going on a trade expedition in this direction into Greece from Alexandria, and pillaged it. So we are going to go across the sea and wreck some idiots. All right. What?
My lord and his chamberlains see much advantage in the treaty. What do you say?
All right.
Your proposal.
No.
Please be.
All right. So no alliance right now. No alliance. Short. No alliance. Alright, but yeah, I am going to go north and pillage the Greeks.
Ready for battle. Make haste.
As you command.
We fight for you, my lord.
Ready for greatness.
Alright, let's just go and...
Ready for further orders.
Okay, first of all, I am at this point a siegecraft expert because last campaign I held off one of the most brutal sieges in as in Kushite history. When besieged by the Oxamites, I was able to just barely hold them off. So I am a siegecraft expert. I am also a a master of archery command, because though my archers were the ones who ultimately saved the city. Let's also bring along a guide. All right. No, I already have a guide. I have a I have a warlord coming along with me.
Thirsty for battle.
All right, let's go. But in this forest, I'm starting to have visions. I'm starting to have visions that are telling me I am born for greater things. Things. Moreover, it's telling me of different worlds. It's telling me of different. It's telling my other forms of different worlds, including the ones I'm in reality. And the situations I'm in, and telling me the reason that exactly why I joined forces with Amani Renas. It was because of a personal grudge I had against the Roman Empire. Or maybe not so personal. Maybe it's because I was trying to hold off a great crisis in the future that they would be involved in. A crisis involving divine and supernatural forces that could bring about a catastrophe thousands of years ahead. A noble from another house has recently passed away. His family asks us to build a pyramid for him so he may take the journey, undertake the journey safely. What should we do? Plus 15% construction costs. But also plus 10 loyalty for all political parties. You know what? Let's appease the generals. Let's appease the nobles. They served us well. They served us well in the war with Aksum and Blemyai. All right. First of all, let's demolish this. We already have a infantry quarters, so we don't really need this. And also, let's see. All right, now that the Kandake has achieved victory and conquered all of Ethiopia, she can focus on more domestic measures while I handle the military issues.
At your command. On the move, my lord. Next command, my lord.
I really need to start timestamping these videos so that timestamping these videos again so that they're just easier to navigate. Maybe I'll just take notes about the things I was talking about, and oh yeah, I remember what I was I forgot I was supposed to do. Wait, where is the YouTuber stuff? I need to talk about the history. I need to do my history exposition. Lost caravan. One of our trade caravans has disappeared in the desert, probably attacked by bandits or lost in a sandstorm. What should we do? Send a search party. No man left behind. Alright, Syracuse has been destroyed and captured in the far north. North, and the great scholar Archimedes has been killed. But anyways, let's talk about history. So the 25th dynasty, the dynasty that would go on to capture the Kushite dynasty that would go on to unite Kush in Egypt. As I mentioned before, they came from the region of Ethiopia, a term used by ancient Westerners to refer to all of the area below Egypt. But it was actually not, first of all, it's not the first Egyptian dynasty to be born outside the kingdom. Right before, there was a dynasty led by Libyans. But it's unique in that all of the pharaohs were buried in Kush instead of Egypt. So like I said, it wasn't a... although he was a pharaoh, he was also a Kushite king. It was sort of a double kingdom. 2 kingdoms, 1 ruler. Nevertheless, unlike the Persians and the Macedonians rulers that would later follow, the Kushite pharaohs had their records written in Egyptian hieroglyphics and were all devoted to the Egyptian religion and culture. But yeah, I will point out that the culture right now, the majority culture right now that we want to build towards is actually Egyptian, although the and the culture that we want to spread in Kush is to supplant the current African traditions. Which, yes, I know, is not super appropriate for a Black History Month, but, you know, that's just how it is. You might see that I'm constantly opening my mouth up and down, and that's largely because I want to make sure that the webcam is working. You know what? I don't think I need to do that anymore because it's clear my webcam is working. Because if its lights are on, then that means it's connected. I used to rely on my phone for to use as a webcam, but now I actually have a pretty professional one I bought last year. So, which I'm really glad for. All right, along the way, my wife has a traumatic vision that sometime in the future I will great calamity will fall upon her house. Will fall upon our house and her. I assure her that nothing bad will happen to her while I'm alive. But nevertheless, she is frightened because although no man no man can scare her without her, she would cut them down first. She is yeah, she fears the gods. She fears Amun.
Yes. Steady as we go.
Okay, you probably hear my dog barking. You know what? I'm gonna go and close the door. No. Yeah, my dog is a very discordant bark, and my dog is a very discordant bark, which kind of sucks because I'm also super sound sensitive. But you know that's okay. I love him nevertheless. Yeah, I often describe him as having a lion's roar coming from a tiny body. He's a Bichon Poodle mix. The desert is vast, so we had to send a large party, and it still took days to find the missing caravan. Fortunately, we managed to rescue most of the men in cargo. Apparently, they sought shelter from the storm in an abandoned, half-buried village far from the main road. Alright, I don't think that's going to have a big impact on our economy because we don't have a super commerce-based economy right now, but nevertheless, it's a good thing that the human. What's this? Olympic victor in the Stadion race, Pergenes of Alexandria. Oh yeah, that's right. Greece is still independent. You know what? Actually, not even. Even after Greece was conquered by the Romans, the Olympic Games would continue. The Olympic Games would continue all the way until the late 4th century, when the zealous Christian Theodosius would cancel them. Let's see. Oh yeah, I need to do something with my, what is that, my scout. I'm gonna send him up here, up to Egypt, just to see what they're doing.
I shall rest a while.
Gala, my. Alright, he is a martial artist, and I need that. I need help so that he can so he can train my armies. Alright, and let's make him a better assassin and single combat master. He's going to wreak havoc among the Seleucids, or as they were called today, the Syrian. At this point, the Syrians. I mean, I don't know exactly how they were specifically referred to. I like to refer to them as the Syrian Empire. Seleucid Empire is just something that we call them today, called the dynasty today. Okay. Alright. My sage is also leveled up. Alright, perhaps he's the one who told me of the other versions of me in other futures. Alright.
Your orders?
Leaving the ship. Waiting for Mooooom.
Alright, let's see what happens next. Maybe we can have an excuse to raid these idiots. I feel like getting into more trouble. Or maybe not. Maybe I can get them to trade with me. Oh, guess not. Okay, how much will these guys pay me to go to war with them?
Listening to your terms, hoping to
Not very much. Who else are they at war with? The Mamluktin Saba. Okay. You know what? Let's explore. Let's see who else is around. Who else is lying around the Indian Ocean. All right. How long is it going to take for us to get to Palmyra? Pretty long. You know, it's okay. This is going to be an important part of my my life. I can afford to wait, because it will bring, if we can succeed in pillaging this land, it will bring great riches. Waiting. You know what? Screw it. If no one's here, okay, somebody is here. I was just gonna say, if nobody is watching, I'm going to sing a stupid brain rot song. A song, because I like brain rot. I consider myself a very skibbity person. There he, and he's gone. You know, it's funny. No, forget it. I don't want to scare people away from the VOD. Especially since I actually think I might actually timestamp this, the stream.
I am now on the move.
Okay. Alright, let's continue our journey to Syria. Wait, do I have to cross the desert for this? Possibly.
At once. Finding some.
Alright, let's work on some more domestic issues. What's this? Oh, torturer, yeesh. Alright, let's keep going north. Anyways, continuing on exposition. According to the stela left behind by the dynasty, the first genuine pharaoh of Kushite pharaoh of Egypt was the Kushite king Pie, who he was already a pretty close military ally of the Egyptians and follower of the Egyptian cult. And then, to intervene in a civil war, he marched his armies in and then crowned himself pharaoh. So Manetho, a Greek who wrote a history on Egypt, doesn't actually mention PA, instead claiming that the dynasty started with his successor, Shabako. But under Shabako, the third pharaoh Shabatako, and the fourth Taharko, Kush had clear control of Egypt, but its relationship with the neighboring Israelite kingdom has been debated. This is in the the 600s BC, so Israel was an independent kingdom, or Israel and Judah. I forget how it is in the Bible. Some scholars believe there was a hostile relationship between the two, but no, while others suggest that there was a strong alliance between the ends, with the Kushite double kingdom even dissuading the neighboring Assyrians from besieging and conquering Jerusalem. Oh, the Yuezhi. Alright, the Yuezhi were the ones who would ultimately destroy Bactria and conquer a large part of the Middle East around Afghanistan. Faction encounter. The Mamluktin Saba. Alright, these guys are inland, so they can't trade with me. Can I get them to...
Speak, and I will...
Oh, I see. So the Mamlukat Himyar are actually their vassals. And also they're now... Okay, I can't really get anyone to go to war with me, to pay me to go to war with them. Yeah, I mean, I know this is total war, and commonly factions just arbitrarily declare war on each other. But I like to have a casus belli. Definitely, I like to get other enemy factions to pay me to attack their enemies. Ndovu. African elephants. And let's see. Continuing. Let's see. Local fishermen were attacked by a tentacled sea monster while taking their cash to store. Apparently, the terrible creature, bigger than a house, killed and ate everyone it came into contact with. As you might expect, the others are now afraid to go out into the water. Capture this great piece and organize a cult around it. No, hunt the beast. Hunt the beast. My wife Admiral will go. Will destroy. Will show them that Amun's chosen cannot be trifled with. Oh. Oh, okay. Looks like I'm in a... Okay, can I have military access, please? No? Too bad. Okay. Okay, I'll guess I'll go around. Or not, I'll just cross it, I'll just quickly be out. No, I probably shouldn't. It'd just be faster if I made it there through these guys' land. Sorry, but you're gonna have to bite the bullet. Ooh, population surplus, alright. What is this city like? Ptolemite, they're on. Okay, what should we build? Ptolemite, they're on. It probably has some other African or Egyptian name, but for now... Very low tax potential. But also very fertile, very high farming and grazing potential. Okay, let's build a... Let's build a horse breeder. All right. What's this? All right. Oh. Oh, someone new has arrived. Hold on, who is it? Do you ever play multi-campaigns? No, I haven't actually done that before. Maybe I will sometime. Some people have asked me to play head-to-head campaigns before. I'm assuming that means rival campaigns, but to be honest, I do not like to play PvP, like play against other people, because I'm terrible at games. I am terrible at games in general. Like recently, I got my absolute ass kicked by kicked in a couple of PvP matches. Because I do not know how to build. I actually brought 2 ballistas to a battle, and of course that didn't really work out. Great trophy, the height of an unusually large crocodile. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. We still need to go around and visit the Muscat. All right. Hagar. They are at war with Hagar.
Enjoy the
Wanna
pleasures
trade?
of my home.
Okay.
You present honest terms that I
Okay, do you want to trade?
welcome, honored emissary.
It is time for my queen to get married. Let's see. Let's send a few diplomats around, see if... Okay. See who's interested. Let's see, let's send it to the... Main. The Mamlakat Himyar. Oh, we have an heir. All right. Definitely need to educate her. Wait, and let's send him to the Mamlakat at Saba. Okay. Anyways, continuing on to pillage some losers. How are you doing otherwise, Mr. Thesis? Have you ever written a thesis? Anyways, continuing my exposition. So a lot of attention has often been paid to by scholars to the role of women in Kush. I remember when I read about them in my elementary school textbook, it basically said that women were completely equal to men, to the point that women could actually fight alongside them in the military. Oh, you have? You have. Congratulations. I seriously thought of going back to school. I only have a bachelor's. Going back to college for a while, but I suffered so much in college just because of... Alright. Alright. Right. The Mamlaktan Saba have offered a genuine tribute. I'm guessing this is for my a queen's hand in marriage. Anyways, but yeah, I suffered so much in college, but just because I tried so hard to get good grades that, to be honest, I don't want to go through that again. Oh, summer region attrition. Dang it. A little bit further.
At once! Ready for orders.
Alright, let's send some more diplomats around. Let's send someone to Kidri. And let's send him to the Egyptians.
Ready for battle.
Foreign customs. Or temple tax. All men must have a share of material wealth, even the gods. Okay. You know, I do want siege towers. Let's learn the secrets. The secrets of engineering. Huh? Oh, can't build horses. All right. So in that case, Arabian pirates. All right. I'm going to actually need to build a sizable navy right now. Alright, let's hire, let's recruit this guy in Diblis. Wait, is he obsessive? Civility. Who is just the baddest warrior around? Military, academic, humor. Oh. Oh wow, big guy. Shit. I'm just gonna quickly rush over there. Hopefully I can get there quick enough before before these pirates decide to sack my settlement. I forgot that pirates can appear over here. I mean, no, I didn't forget. I didn't know at all because I've never actually played this faction. But anyways, I was saying women in Kush. The royal daughter of the 25th dynasty was actually declared God's wife of Amun, the effective high priestess. The God's wife might have actually even continued to serve her role after the Kushites were pushed out of Egypt by the Assyrians in kingship of the 5th pharaoh, Tanutamani. Yep, here they come. Oh, thank goodness they're not attacking, they're just raiding. Okay. The alliance between these factions has been broken. Alright, let's see if I can, let's see if I can get married to this guy, to the Ptolemy. No, in reality, I could never arrange a political marriage with this faction because they were obsessed with Macedonian racial purity to the point that they would regularly engage in incest. Still,
And this humble
no, definitely can't do that. She's married. He's married. Okay, how about you?
My friend, you honor this place with your arrival. I, your humble servant in matters of diplomacy, await your words.
Alright. I will offer a dowry. How about that? Alright.
Heard of your great
My queen has agreed to marry this Arabian king. Diplomatic marriage to them. Now let's see if I can get some. Okay, they don't want to have a military alliance just yet, despite the fact that we have a political marriage. So how about a? We'll see. Once I cause enough trouble for the Seleucids, then we'll see. Oh yeah, that's right. I was supposed to marry these guys because they offered a bride price. Whatever. They still don't like me very much. That was probably just a tribute. Just a small tribute anyways. Alright, we're going to discover one more faction and then we're going to go home. Alright, the... Maurya Samraj. Samraj. My people, the people of India, centered in a kingdom in the kingdom of Paliputra in Bihar, founded by Chandragupta Maurya and reached its peak under the great Emperor Ashoka.
I will do you the honor.
Guess not.
To your tales, hoping to...
Anyways, I think I'm just going to delete these guys because guys and have her return home because they will soon run out of supplies otherwise. Anyways, I will later when she returns home, I will bring her up again as a naval master, as an admiral. Alright, let's hire some mercs, maybe? Syrian mercenary archer. Syrian has been famous for its archers for thousands of years. These men took part in nearly every major Near Eastern war, since the early Assyrian kingdom used them as auxiliary troops. Alright, composite bows, which made them a class above most archers at that time. Long-range bows and carried a good amount of arrows, along with heavy scale armor as protection. Very nice, very nice. Also pretty good in close combat, alright. Syrian mercenary spearmen. Alright, let's hire some archers. No, we already have a decent amount of archers. Maybe we need some more spearmen. No, we really don't. The my skirmishers are already pretty decent spearmen. Alright. Yeah, let's hire some archers if they really are the envy of the world.
We fight for you, my lord. At your command.
How about some trade?
Be most welcome.
Guess not.
I will...
Yeah, the Egyptians are... They have so much trade resources that that people would kill to trade with them. They have just so much in terms of trade resources. Trade resource. And wait, do they have horses? No, they do not. They do not have horses at this point. Who has horses? Do you? Do you? No. 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 Thank you so much for coming, Thesis. It means it means a lot. Like, I completely forgot that I actually forgot that I still have subscribers only mode chat, and this is it's largely because in the past, I believe on Tuesday, yeah, my chat was while I was streaming a collab with one of my streamer friends. I was actually I was attacked by a spammer. This guy is a dedicated spammer because he was, because he would start spamming really dirty things in my chat, and after I what is it? I banned him. I started hiding his chat. He would come back with a different account, and he would do this just over and over again, 3+ alts. Okay. She has returned home, so let's start wreaking havoc. Among the filthy pirates. Piracy does not pay, unless you except when it does. When you except when it does. If your name is Henry Avery. Okay, let's see. African archers. Okay. Anyways, let's keep on going north.
Advance! Our advance has been halted. My lord. Let them cower before our might.
Alright. Empires are consolidating. Okay, our kingdom is becoming more and more Egyptianized. So actually next, what is it, next session of this campaign, I'm actually probably going to talk a bit more about, one thing I'm actually going to talk about is Kush's appearance in the Bible, because they are shortly mentioned in that there's a period when a messenger from Kush, a eunuch from Queen Candace is met and is baptized. Meets the apostles and is baptized. I believe he's baptized by Saint Thomas. I forget. Increase in rank.
Ready for greatness.
Oh, see, the Kandake has. Wait. Faction. Wait, is she no longer the faction leader? Oh yeah, she is. She's the Kore. She's working on domestic issues right now, so yeah, let's make her a capable bureaucrat. And then adept trades, an agriculturalist. From the looks of it, this is a place with rough terrain in general, and as a result, people do not like to pay taxes. So let's keep taxes low. let's not focus on collecting extra taxes. So
For the move forward. The weak will be left behind. It's an honor to
So I might actually have mentioned, for interesting fact, the other country with the other country other than the U.S. with the loosest gun laws in the world, with the most carte blanche gun laws in the world is actually Yemen. It actually has even more loose gun laws than the U.S. In the U.S., we have the Second Amendment, which is what is it? Just a vague wording of bearing arms as part of regulated militias, which has been interpreted in a bunch of different ways. But in Yemen, they make it clear. They make it clear that people there have the rights to purchase any weapon they can afford, including machine guns. There is an incredibly strong gun culture there, with people regularly just wandering around with machine guns, and even small children, boys, carry guns around.
Ready for battle. Laying siege to the settlement.
Okay, this should be easy. It's that easy? Alright. So hold on, before we do anything, I want to actually just send my guy out, my warlord out, to see if any other armies are nearby.
I aid you further. I'm done.
That's one direction. You know, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna sack these guys.
At your command. Ready for battle. None will escape. Retreat. We fight for you, my lord.
Alright, all in a day's work. And alright, let's finally build that, upgrade my fishing port to a fishmonger's lane. And let's upgrade this to a... should we wait for it? Hold on. Alright, how about that alliance now?
You honor this place with your arrival. I, your humble servant in matters of diplomacy, await your words.
Still no? Alright. Okay, let's build that grain pit. And I think we can afford to spend little on public entertainment, so that the population can grow a little fast because of widely available food.
My lord.
Alright, let's see how these how the Syrians respond. The Syrian Greeks, I mean. Not that much, alright. Let's see. Oh yeah, we definitely need to build up our navy, as I said.
For battle.
Okay, on second thought, I'm actually going to loot the city because I need to. What is it? Otherwise, my people will starve. My soldiers will starve.
Besieging settlement. None will escape.
Okay, let's go in this direction. See if anyone will conveniently attack. Guess not. Completely unprotected. Alright, I'm gonna risk it. Alright, now we can actually handle the hot summer.
At your command. Ready for battle.
Alright. Let's see.
Ready for orders. At your command.
Okay, what else can we do? Oh yeah. Need to... Land recruitment cost. Okay. There's still a few people I want to trade with. Do they have gold?
The blessings of the Pharaoh most.
Alright, let's get access to lead. All the lead you can eat.
Assembling the fleet.
Ready for orders.
Alright, how about that? How about that
Great
alliance
most
now?
excellent friend. Be
No?
not-
Alright. Dang it. Okay. Alright, so far so good. Alright. Looks like this mission, this expedition was a very good thing. I'm glad we came.
We fight for you, my lord.
Alright, let's recruit some Syrian levies. Let's recruit a few of these guys.
Goes requires noble men. Ready for battle. I am ready.
Alright. I want to see if we can,
I live for war.
I want to see if we can kill this, this hero, Nikon. Oh, definitely, we got this.
See their life leave their eyes.
Or maybe not. Alright, this guy can punch above his weight. Dang. Amphora maker. Let's see. Wind catcher, a tower that cunningly channels the breeze to cool a building's occupants. So I guess people just come in here and rest. Alright. Oh, I see. For storage of goods and produce that need to be kept cool. The above-ground Yakchal's large domed evaporative coolers were used purely for storage and could be kept cool enough for ice, even the summer heat. Alright. Still, yeah, let's build an Adobe Maker. Also, I wonder, what's the centralized kingdom? All right, so it's probably this is probably a good time to start expanding our political power, or at least the Queen's political power. So yeah. All right. So, I mean, for any history buffs who understand this, who recognize this name, Pamira is indeed the kingdom, the kingdom that Zenobia ruled, where the Zenobia who rebelled against Aurelian. The waters have produced an abundance of fish. Surely this is evidence for divine intervention. The local populace rejoice at this gift from the gods. What? Huh? Who the fuck is Rob Udaya? Wait, Udaya. Who the fuck is Rob? Malek, noble families. Okay, maybe it's the... maybe it's the garrison, this guy's son. Or maybe it's this guy's son or something, I don't know.
We fight for you, my lord. My lord, kill them all! Run them through! At once!
All right.
You call this a garrison? It's a great and glorious thing. Fight for our
Yeah, anyways, let's continue building our fleet.
Your orders? We need a strong crew. Ready for greatness.
Ready for orders.
Alright, Alright, we definitely have an abundance of food right now. What else is going on my end? Raimundo, you made it! You finally caught me live! Thank you so much for coming. Honestly, I'm so glad you're here. I actually feel like going over the exposition all over, the historical exposition all over again. Let's see, fishermen have found a shipwreck at the... how are you doing? Fishermen have found a shipwreck at the further than... Alright, let's see if we can finally get rid of this guy.
Their life is yours.
Guess not.
I have shaped myself. Ready for battle. My lord. Ready for further orders. On the move, my lord.
Okay, I think I will actually... Oh, I see this place has been... You know what, forget it. Forget it. I will build... I will build a separate kingdom here. Alright. With my soldiers as nobles.
Fleet ready.
Alright.
We're going to need more ships.
You're living life. If that that's good. It's very good to live life. Too few people live life today. Most people are dead. I've been doing great. I recently finished a gameplay video that I had a lot of fun with. Gameplay videos, I mean, at first I was intimidated a bit from making gameplay videos because the first video I ever made was like the first serious video I ever made, which is like the gameplay video on Assassin's Creed, was I put a lot of effort into it, and I figured, oh crap, I don't want to make that effort all over again, but you know what? it's okay to do things a little half-assed that time. It's better to do things half-assed than not do them at all.
Ready for battle. I am your champion, my lord.
Anyway, since you are here, I will go over the exposition again. So, we are playing as Kush. They were a people that were, they were a black African people that were lived in the area the ancients called Ethiopia. Which does not just refer to Ethiopia, modern Ethiopia. It also refers to the land around the Upper Nile. In Sudan and Ethiopia and Eritrea. Honestly, Ethiopian was basically a catch-all term the Greeks used for black people, black Africans. So, the Kushites were south of... They always say that there is a minimum effort to do things, the rest is the care that one wants to put in. Exactly.
I humbly propose
All right.
in the hope that you will see the merit of closer ties with our people.
Okay, so yeah, the Kushites were lived south of all right. It is summer, so if I a hot summer right now, and if I push too far ahead, then
We fight. Get to it, man. Ready for battle.
everything that was Africa and black people was Ethiopian for the Greeks and Romans, correct? So the Kushites were notable because they didn't conquer Egypt. I wouldn't say they conquered Egypt, they joined with Egypt, and the 25th dynasty of black pharaohs came from Kush. So first of all, the Kushites, the 25th dynasty was not the first dynasty to be born outside the kingdom. Before that, there was a dynasty of Libyan pharaohs. But they were unique in that the pharaohs were all buried in Kush instead of Egypt. Kush and Egypt were known as sort of double kingdoms at the time. Nevertheless, unlike the pharaohs and the Persian and Macedonian rulers that would later follow, the Kushite pharaohs... Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the 25th dynasty. The Kushite pharaohs had their records written in Egyptian hieroglyphics and were devoted to the Egyptian religion and culture. That's what's actually going on over here. The royal culture that my faction is trying to spread is not actually African culture, it is Egyptian culture. Bit of detail there. Bit of extra detail there, yeah. Okay. Still not enough. I need some extra money to deal with these guys. Deal with these as pirates.
Your orders?
Okay. Different, smaller and thinner in the Kingdom of Kush. Correct. They really admired Egyptians, so much that they became Egyptians. According to the stela left behind by the dynasty, the 25th dynasty became with the Kushite king Pa, who was already a close military ally of the Egyptians and follower of the Egyptian cult. And when he marched into Egypt to intervene in a civil war, he then just crowned himself pharaoh. Sorry, but you guys are gonna have to bite the bullet for a while. Alright, let's get some...
Join the navy.
Okay, this is going to hurt quite a bit. Hurt me and hurt you, and hurt you. Come on, die, bitch, die! Got him!
My power knows no bounds. Moving out.
Alright. Yeah, you deserve a rank up after that. Let's see. Okay, so a lot of what we know about Egypt, actually, a famous text about Egypt was by this Greek living in Egypt. I forget, living in Egypt. I forget when he lived, or maybe he lived in Greece, called Manetho. So funny story. Most serious scholars at that time don't actually think the Book of Exodus actually happened, but a lot of Porfirio and Plotino, fate wanted me to find your stream. The classical era influenced the algorithm. That's right. So, one thing that you were just playing Age of Bronze for the first time. I literally just destroyed Kush for the Egyptians. What are the odds I see your stream? Thank you so much for coming. Age of Bronze, that's right. That's the Rome. That's the Rome to Egypt mod. I do hope that they eventually come up with more mods for mods beyond Egypt and the Hittites, but before I play it, but unfortunately they are kind of taking their time because they say they're not professional game devs. They have jobs. Totally understandable. But yeah, the Manetho, as I was saying, Manetho actually wrote an explanation, wrote on the events in the Book of Exodus of the Jews' escape from Egypt. He of course talked about them in a really nasty way, saying that they were they were slaves who sabotaged the Egypt and by deliberately spreading leprosy or something like that. So quite often biblical scholars will claim that this is proof that it actually happened. And you know what? I'm not going to. This isn't just a stream for me to criticize the Bible. I'm just criticize the Bible because I don't want to offend anyone just yet. I have a lot of good Christian and friends, but I will point out that Manetho did not necessarily need to have proof that the events in the Book of Exodus actually did happen. Most likely he was doing it to trash Jews and sort of as a response to the Old Testament, saying that, yeah, the thing in your book actually happened, but it didn't happen the way you did because you guys are the worst. Anyways, let's continue. Interesting discussion. I'm here for it. Thank you so much. Jerusalem is actually right here. I'm hoping to eventually find out what happens after you liberate this and allow it to form and give the people here independence. I'd assume that what happens to them is they form the Kingdom of Judea, which is basically a Jewish kingdom. I do wonder though what units they get, so maybe I will if I end up going to war with them, which I probably will. I'm going to war with the Egyptians, which I probably will. Waiting. But yeah, Manetho, Greek who wrote a history of Egypt, does not actually mention PA. Instead, he mentioned that the dynasty started with his successor, Shabako. So under the second pharaoh, Shabako, the third pharaoh, Shawatako, and the fourth pharaoh, Taharko, Kush had clear control over Egypt. Reading the Bible is complicated. It's full of metaphors and literary forms. So much of what is literal for us, but for them it was perhaps a saying or a joke. Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about Christians is that they won't get super angry if you claim things like this, that stuff in the Bible didn't really happen, is just a metaphor. Generally, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool about it because the Bible is generally very valid. A lot of the wisdom in it is very valid, even if the events didn't happen exactly as they did. Like, anyways, our glorious leader, the time has finally come. Two of the divine are listening. Who should we seek the most to appease this year? Who are you? Guardian of the temple doors, guardian heir of sunlight, some of Sabukir Mer. Sabu Meker. Guardian of the temple doors, god of procreation, far of... Oh, Raimondo. Have you ever seen Exodus, God and Kings? The shitty, Ridley Scott movie? Guardian of the temple doors, god of procreation, father of Arens Nufus. Growth or morale. Alright. Make more babies, people! Anyways, let's fight on the water. Oh god, I got a sinking feeling about this. No, I think I haven't. Yeah, first of all, it was garbage. It was a very mid film. It was not compelling at all, but Ridley Scott, by the way, he's not very religious, clearly. At least it's got fancy battles. Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's really over the top, as would be expected from a guy who made movies like Napoleon, which was also pretty bad, and Kingdom of Heaven. But yeah, I think what the funny thing is, what Ridley Scott tries to do is he tries to make it so that it's vague whether or not what actually happens is God's doing, or is just or just all in Moses's head and just natural coincidences. Might have rustled a few people's jimmies, but I don't know. Well, quite often, a lot of really, offensive stuff can be forgiven if a piece of work is well crafted. The problem is this was not well crafted. It was garbage. Anyway, okay. Let's get rid of these rebels.
For honor and great glory. Make haste, man.
Why are you going in that direction?
Kill the coward.
I will be talking about the Bible a little next campaign session, largely because Kush does actually appear in the Bible. There's a story of the eunuch of Queen Candace, where Queen Candace sends over a eunuch to Jerusalem. He has a biblical talk with one of the apostles, and then ultimately he embraces Christ and is baptized. I will talk about that a bit more, but just like in many of the other Western and Middle Eastern, I consider the Bible a Western-ish source because most of what Westerners know about it is translations from is Western translations. Ridley Scott doesn't care what he does anymore. He's too old to care. Exactly. No, I take that back. The Bible is not a Western source, but the translations are. The point is that they refer to the Queen of Kush as Queen Candace. And so yes, the lady, the young lady in Phineas and Ferb, Candace, is indeed named after the Kushite queen, largely because she does appear in the Bible. Candace comes from the Kushite the Kushite queen's name, Kandake. Anyways, so the relationship between Kush and the neighboring Israelite kingdom has been debated. Some scholars believe there was a hostile relationship between the two, but others suggest that there was a strong alliance, with the Kushite king actually doubling down. The Kushite double kingdom actually dissuading the neighboring Assyrians from besieging and conquering Jerusalem. Anyways, but yeah. And here we go.
Bearing down on them.
Okay, lots and lots of melee infantry, lots and lots of archers. I think I can win this. I think. I got a sinking feeling about this. When they say original languages edition of the Bible, I'm like, really? The originals? Wow, since when do we have anything other than just Greek before the Vulgate? Oh yeah, that is true. The first actual, the first actual transcripts of the Bible actually come from the second millennium. The 2nd century AD, and they were written in Greek. If we actually have a written transcription of the Bible other than oral in original Hebrew, it's been lost to the ages. Unfortunately, yeah, who knows? Maybe it was even lost during the ravaging of Israel during the Bar Kokhba revolt by the Romans. Who knows? Maybe it was actually burned there. That would be sad. Okay. How should we do this? I'm definitely not getting into single combat with these guys. Okay, let's do sort of have a few bodyguards for my general. Okay, let's make these guys into a selection group. Let's make... Alright, formation group. No, not formation group, selection group. Let's go! So, as you might... It's the oldest we have, but then again, we don't have the our Odyssey or the Iliad before Aristarchus of Samothrace's version from 500 BC. Even so, we'll take it as the best we have. I mean, Homer was blind. It's not like he could have written anything down. There was probably a lot of oral tradition involved. Okay, I might be able to snipe his commander. That would be pretty cool.
One of our ships is being boarded.
Alright, let's kill these guys in close combat. Let's knock this guy over.
Our general is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, the Vedic people definitely did have writing. Definitely did have writing. They wrote stuff on banana leaves. But yes, but yes, this at the time of the Mahabharata, it probably was oral tradition.
The men are wavering.
Oh shit! And my general just died. Not paying attention.
Our men flee the field of...
I mean, this is thematic. I did say at the beginning that, according to the narrative component,
has fallen.
according to the narrative component of my of this session, my and this woman had seen a prophecy that great calamity would come back to her house. There are temples where they have them reciting all day, every day. Amazing. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, oral tradition definitely is underrated. For instance,
One of our ships is being boarded. Our men flee the field of battle.
no, that's what rhyming. That's largely what rhyming and rhythm is for. To make sure that there's a pattern. To make sure that that people can remember these things. Probably the most famous example of how successful oral tradition can be is the oral tradition of the Australian Aboriginals, because what is it, the oral tradition of the Australian Aboriginals, because apparently their oral tradition goes back to 10,000 years, to the point that they actually describe land structures and islands that don't exist anymore, that actually exist but did exist 10,000 years ago.
An entire unit has...
Oh. Yeah, I told you I had a bad feeling about this. Absolutely pulverized. Absolutely pulverized. I mean, these are pirates. Where do they get these huge fleets? Like, they must be privateers. Somebody is paying them to screw me and my allies over. I mean, obviously that's not going to be reflected. We know that the idea of making children repeat with the teacher and sing the subject comes from Quintilian and Varron. Oh, I haven't seen this cinematic before. Oh, I did actually disband the... I did actually, though, disperse the pirates because I killed their... or at least they talk about it. I did disperse the pirates, at the very least. But, yeah. Dang it. Oh, what do you know? My... Oh, my political my political husband over here, my queen's political husband over here just died. Dang it. Okay. Well, looks like she is available right
I
now.
will do you the honor of listening to
Piracy is no more. Let's go. Oh, that's right. Now everyone has to pay for. Now everyone has to pay for manga volumes, just like in the good old days.
Please be seated and take.
Anyways, I'm gonna give everyone a tax holiday just to apologize for the whole thing, and to celebrate our sailors' heroic sacrifice. Anyways, this guy's wife is dead, so he is in no mood for mercy.
Laying siege to the settlement.
You will be taxed and you will like it. Actually, I was just pointing out that these particular these two areas, Aksum and Ptolemy's Theron, meaning Ethiopia and Eritrea, apparently really do not like taxes because what is it? Minus 15% tax rate. There's people are just constantly evading it over there. So I just think might as well keep taxes low so that the population can grow. Alright, Dura, Thapsakos, Antiochia. Oh yeah, Antioch, important place in the Bible, also important place in the Crusades. There's Tyr or Tyros.
My unflinching master will burn your cities, your towns, your villages, your dung heaps, until the sky is dark with smoke.
Wow, what an asshole! You know what? It makes sense. Maybe the lore, maybe the lore in this is that is that they were the ones who were hiring the pirates to raid to raid my allies. All right, let's see if I can trade with the Egyptians right now.
Be most welcome.
Perfect.
Your sagacity is matched only by your persuasive wit. I accept.
Alright, yep, no mood for mercy. Okay.
I am your champion, my lord. Moving out. We fight for you, my lord. How can I assist you further?
Alright, I can probably take this place too.
Ready for battle.
Palstry. Alright. Wait, oh yeah, that's right. We have a abundance of food right now. Wait, what is it? Feast, feast. How long is this going to last? Cebu, Maker, food surplus, logistics, centralized kingdom. Okay.
At your command.
All right. Let's see if I can trade with the
Come, my
with the people of India. Not yet. Okay. What is exactly is the goal right now? All right. I'm going to send my send another character on a punitive expedition. I will send Indiblis out to on a punitive expedition. All right. As systems that dislike trade, the enemies of trade by Antonio Escobar Toro. Very interesting. Wait, actually, you know what? Let me look this up. The enemies of trade by Antonio Esco Hurtado. Oh, the enemies of commerce, not the... The enemies of commerce. Oh, I see. It's not. It doesn't actually have to do with like trade and international trade routes. It has to do with communism. I mean, nowadays they seem to be used in very different contexts. Okay. All right, so first of all, let's build another navy. Let's have Taharko, the name of the what's the guy, the fourth pharaoh.
Yes. Heading for port.
Ready for greatness.
Let's see, Meroitic Royal Guard.
My lord.
Let's take some axemen and let's start building our army.
Come, join our ranks. We fight for you, my lord.
I can only speak in honesty and
All right.
mighty faith.
All right. Perhaps eventually we will see a uniting of the kingdoms of Kush and Egypt again. Anyways. Even back then, it seems that that Northerners, meaning Egyptians, and it is a fun read. It starts with civilizations from the Bronze Age and moves on through Christianity, modernity, until reaching Marx. In essence, Escorado tries to say, "I am fed up with Marxism. Let's make a better genealogy of its origin." Unworthy of Ma'at, our follower. They're asking my Kandake to commit suicide. Well, shit. What happens if I don't? I wonder. Alright. Rebellion. Again.
Ready for order. To battle! Destroy them! Is that all, my lord? We fight for at once! Advance! I am your champion, my lord. I will teach them.
Just give me a moment to think. Without Ma'at, who would weigh the hearts or regulate the seasons and stars? And regulate the seasons and stars. Well,
Stay for battle.
certainly not whoever sent you that message.
My lord.
Okay.
It is a great and glorious thing to fight for our cause.
So what ended up happening? Alright, I am a strategic mastermind. I mean, regarding the origins of communism, I will point out that socialist theory did actually exist before Marx. A lot of it had to do with people who are misinterpreting the words of David Ricardo. because David Ricardo was someone who pushed the labor theory of value, saying that labor was that value came from how much labor one put into a product, and how much labor one would save from, save from buying it instead. And because of this, there were workers and philosophers who claimed that this theory that this theory meant that laborers were entitled to the entirety of a product. I'm not saying this. I'm not trying to get political. I'm just saying that is like the really primal or primitive or not primitive, but like really early origins of communist thought actually did not start with Marx. It started before that, because the labor theory of value is a pretty important underpinning of classical economics. You could actually argue that some might actually argue that communism, Marxist thought, is actually the last vestiges of really archaic, outdated forms of theories in economics. Nowadays, people lean towards the marginalist thought that value is entirely subjective. I used to get very passionate about this stuff because I had to, because I was an economics student, so I had to read a lot about the history of the stuff. And for example, turning into quality econ talk, more please. It's a really, really important skill to be able to talk about these things in a very impartial way without offending anyone. Like, I am willing to offend people, however, by saying, I don't care what, oh, here they come. I don't care how, or what political alignment you are, whether you're left, right, or right, north or south. Communism does not work. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. That's just an objective fact. Although I mean, okay, everyone was everyone are worthy of -8 loyalties for all political powers. Felly holy men have appeared before the people with new pronouncement. Correction. Previous High Ma'at priest is mistaken. Our ruler is the manifestation of Ma'at. The people are scared, but no one will dare raise their voice against the crown, for the time being at least. But yeah, have any of you read or heard of this sci-fi series called The Culture? So The Culture is about a post-scarcity society that is effectively anarcho-communist, where technology is so advanced that people don't have to work because they can basically have anything they want. Let's see, let's get some Royal Guard, Red Sea hoplites, hoplites. Totally by accident, came across it 1 hour ago. Yeah, that happens with really educated people. A lot of these things, they just come by chance. So yeah, I think these kinds of settings, like Star Trek or The Culture, are one of these issues where, is it well written? Yes, yes, it is. It's very, very. From what I know, I haven't actually read it, but it goes very highly into detail into what society was like, what the society is like. First of all, the society is governed by AIs, by AIs, like really powerful minds, which are fundamentally which are treated equally to human beings. Like giving birth or creating an AI, it's basically the same thing, and they're the ones who ultimately manage all the tiny things about the economy. I'm sure people do trade like barter, but money does not exist because they say money existing means inequality means there's inequality. So in a situation like this, first of all, three things need to happen. First of all, there needs to be advanced technology that can handle like the really, I don't know, unpleasant and very nitty-gritty things of. We can simply point to the past and say the fall of the USSR is sufficient proof, according to the same materialism. That's where I'm getting to. Ian M. Banks, the guy who wrote The Culture, straight out said, he doesn't believe that a society like in The Culture, he doesn't believe it can actually exist, because it assumes that people are inherently better than how they really are. Which they are not. Let's see. Shotel. The strange-looking Shotel sword. Higher attack, higher defense. Yeah, let's get a few of these guys. Alright. This is too easy. Where are their armies? It's like... Oh yeah, in this game, I noticed that in a lot of these, mods, quite often in Rome 2, in a lot of these mods, taking down the really large empires like Rome or in medieval 1100 AD Byzantium, the Eastern Roman Empire, it's very easy because their backs are basically turned. Their armies are all in one direction, so you can just backdoor them and quickly take their capital. Okay. What to do here? But yeah, I mean, some people just like to read the culture books because technology is like massively over the top. Like, the spaceships in it actually shoot space-time defects at each other. That's how powerful they are. What is it? No, let me guess. I think I know what you're going to say. Everything Marx said about communism was false, but everything they said about capitalism was true. Tell me if I'm right. You should read The Captive War, new series by authors of The Expanse. I will say this, and I will say this to many of the people who watch my streams. I have massive ADHD, and because of that, I struggle with reading. So, unfortunately, there are a lot of books I would like to read, but I can't because of my massive lack of focus.
My lord.
It's why I can't read the Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings is very difficult to read for someone with ADHD because there is a lot of description in it, and there is a lot of there's a lot of description in it. There's a lot of description of like nature and basically describing all the things that everyone sees while they're walking or while riding their horses. I can't do that. I need unless I'm like really hooked on how interesting it is. That's why I prefer. First book is out only in a couple of months already. Wait, they're already going to make a TV show out of it before the books have even come out. Very nice. Alright, maybe I will check it out then. But yeah, for anyone who's just tuning in, who has just checked out my streams, my last name, Tarkus, actually comes from the Gargantua and Pantagruel by Rabelais as... Oh, okay. Okay. My last name comes from the Tars Tarkus, a character in Edgar Rice Burroughs' Barsoom series. They made a movie out of it, by the way. It's called John Carter. It was the one live-action movie made by Pixar. Palmyra, this region is Crusade. Alright, where to now? I wonder if I can get these guys to surrender, make peace with me in exchange for... Oh, guess not. So yeah, Edgar Rice Burroughs' work is interesting because it also has an enormous amount. Yep, the last pagan historian in the ancient Roman Empire. His is basically a perspective on what it really means to be on the wrong side of history. Someone who knows that his beliefs are going to be. Yep, I did. But yeah, it takes a lot of strength to be on the wrong side of history, and history. It's something I can always admire. Someone who just looks at the crowd and says, "Yes, you are all wrong." Not to say that he was right. I am not a pagan, or and I will put my religious beliefs forward much later. But I just like to see it from a socio-political and historical perspective. And to be honest, let's be real. A lot of the stuff he said in Historia Nova probably did not happen. But it makes for a pretty good story, and to be honest, that's the important thing about that. That's the thing a lot of historians thought were very important. Important. That's why they say, oh, at the siege of Athens and Piraeus, when the Romans captured and sacked it, 200,000 civilians died, and there was blood up to their knees. I mean, maybe that did happen, but probably not to that scale. But yeah, Zosimus definitely had an axe to grind, and like I said, I think it's just admirable to just be okay with being on the wrong side of history.
Ready for orders. Our Lord needs good fighters.
Alright, it's been 2.5 hours. I want to get one large battle in with a large enemy on land before I end the stream. That means Historia Nova, right? I think. You know, I'm actually getting a new model. What's his name? No, I am actually getting a new model. Soon. It's made by Monologue Horror. What's his name? Monologue Horror. That's his. That's the name of the person of the. That's the name of the streamer who's making my new model. My new model is actually going to have the book. My new model is actually going to have the name Historia Nova on the book. Nova's on the book, but it's going to be what is it? In Latin. But it's going to be in Latin rather than Greek, and Zosimus was not Latin. He was a Greek. So that's how it would have been written in. Which is funny because Historia Nova is in Latin. I don't know how it would be it would be written in Greek. But yes, it is a very fun read. There are some really funny moments that. Oh, slave uprising.
Chaining a beast does not break a beast.
Learning some Greek is that I brought the complete works of Lucian.
The spark is there. It is biding its time.
I forget who that is.
Moment.
I will look that up later. And the edition comes with the original along with the translation. Refresh my mind. Tell me one work of his that I might know of. Dang. Alright, I just got sacked. By the way, regarding slave revolt, Spartacus, the Servile War, one thing people don't realize is that one criticism people often have of Spartacus is that, the slaves didn't just have the goal of freedom and escaping to lands unconquered by Greece, or just separating and blending into and blending in. Wait. What did they just do? Like, what just happened? But yeah, Spartacus did not actually. Spartacus and his slaves did not actually have the goal of escaping. They wanted revenge. They were marching on Rome. Maybe if they had a true story. Let me look that up. Lucian, a true story. A true story. A true history. It's where they travel to the. Oh, I know. This is like the first, the first known science fiction text. Yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard of it. The birth of science fiction. Yeah, I mean that does seem like something. That does seem like something. A very underrated text.
For the glory of our people.
Ready for orders.
As you command.
All right, let's see. Let's get some. Dude is super funny, actual comedian. Well, probably definitely funnier than Catullus. All right. Maybe sometime if I ever stream on Kick, I will actually say a few, repeat a few verses from Catullus. Some of the really obscene verses from Catullus. You know, that would be a funny special. A special stream on Kick, reading the works of Catullus. Okay, let's get some archers. Sounds like fun, yeah. Ethiopian elite archers, okay.
Mercy for battle.
At your command. Noble cause requires noble men. Ready for orders. Advance. Is that all, my lord?
Like I said, I want to finish this with one giant land battle. Again, thank you guys all so much for coming. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this for a long time. Just stream and have stream and talk about. I mean, there's nerdy things like Dungeons and Dragons and Star Trek and Star Wars, and then there's like unholy nerdy things like Plutarch and Zosimus and Vedavyasa. I remember this old college humor video about how religious people are nerds because they're obsessed with works like the Bible and the Quran, just like just like geeks today are obsessed with Star Wars and Warhammer. That's one way of looking at it, certainly. But you know, I genuinely think we've gone past the point. We're in a nicer period in history where nerd is a form of endearment rather than a insult. I'm going to sleep for a while. Wake me up when we get there, and don't fall asleep. Huh?
We fight for you, my lord. March. You have further orders.
When they woke up, they had passed the station by many kilometers, and they said, he said to him, "But you fell asleep." And he said, "No, it's just that so I wouldn't fall asleep. I started reading the Ennead in reverse, and I got distracted." That's a good one.
Ready for
My
greatness.
lord. It is a great.
Alright, we are going to have to raise taxes again, unfortunately, because we are at war yet again. Sorry, guys.
At your command.
Measuring instruments. Seeding plow.
grovel before me, for I am only the servant of mighty Pharaoh.
Seems fair. Oh, by the way, have any of you ever read The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho? It's a Portuguese novel. I believe the guy won the Nobel Prize at one point. There's a story at the beginning of... It repeats the story of Narcissus, and... It repeats the story of Narcissus and how, Narcissus is so obsessed with his, with how beautiful he is. He just keeps on staring himself in the water, and then he falls in and dies. And then eventually, but then after that, the water, the pond that he was looking at starts crying, because apparently it's crying because the pond could see itself in Narcissus's eyes. I don't know why I brought that up. I don't fully get that, but I don't know, and how it relates to the story. I'll have to look that up later. This is a little too easy. I'm a little worried that I'm going to get my ass kicked a little later. Peter, explain the joke, please. There's actually a subreddit for that. Peter explains the joke.
At your command. Ready for battle.
Okay. How fast can they get here? Well, this is the giant battle that I want, so after that I'm probably going to end the stream. This is very easy. Too easy. Boss music plays. Yeah, that feeling when you that feeling when you defeat Millennia and you defeat Millennia and then realize she has a second phase.
We fight for you, my lord. At your command. We fight for you, my lord.
Oh yeah, something I'll actually mention. A funny story that from an RPG I once run, Pathfinder RPG. So there was this character who was one of the players was a druid, and we were doing an Arabian theme campaign. One of the Pathfinder adventure paths. What is it? Legacy of Fire, I think. Yeah, that's what it's called. Legacy of Fire. Okay. And so this is how the story goes. The story goes. So I had this character who was a druid, and he had a pet lion named Hamza, and a lion cub, and I said, your lion will grow up to be the king of the lions, a lion king. And I just said, okay, for his personal story, we'll just do a parody of the Lion King. So what happened is, we found out that the Lion King, the land of talking animals that Hamza is from, is under attack by a chimera, and then we. Yeah, it's under attack by a chimera. And along the way, to find Hamza's brother, the actual heir, the Lion King, they encounter 4 animals. The first one is and I can't remember all of them, but there was an elephant that asked them for help getting a fruit from a tree. And he says, "I'm big. I should be able to get whatever I want." That's what everyone says. And anyways, they say obviously he's been getting arrogant because of how big he is. So so one of them climbs the trees, and monkeys in it start laughing at them, saying, "You better not come closer, sir. We've been infected by. We have a disease that makes you more vulnerable to other diseases." And so obviously they leave and tell the elephant a valuable lesson that you can't always get what you want. And then ultimately there is then after that they encounter a chimpanzee that says, "I want to be like you, Scooby-Dooby-Doo." And of course, because that isn't even the same movie. And then ultimately they meet Hamza's brother, the Lion King, and the Lion King tells them about how he saw his deceased father in the sky, and his father says, "My son, I am a cloud. I cannot talk. I shall merge with you. I shall go inside of you." And then the cloud comes down to the ground and goes up Hamza's brother's nose, and goes up Hamza's brother's nose. And there's also a goblin merchant who sells defective magic items, and a 40k orc war boss. And then finally they encounter the Chimera, and it nearly kicks their asses, because chimeras are like super overpowered in Pathfinder RPG, because they have like 4 different attacks. 4 attacks at level 4. So ultimately, Hamza's brother, the Lion King, sacrifices himself to save Hamza, and and then they ask the goblin merchant to help them, and then the goblin merchant gives them a genie and a lamp that says will grant them their wish. But it's not actually a genie, it's a demon that grants wishes. So they ask him, please bring the Lion King back to life, and they resurrect him as a murderous undead with its guts hanging out of its stomach, called a morgue. And yeah, all's well that ends well. The Lion King proceeds to go rampage into human lands and becomes even worse than what the Chimera would be. But yeah, that was the players thought it was hilarious, but honestly, it sounded much funnier when it actually happened. Anyways, bit of a tangent there. Let's continue. "Son, my son, I am a cloud. I cannot talk." One of the guys claimed to call it the beach episode of the RPG. Okay. In my experience, except for some really people with really big sticks up their asses about RPGs do ultimately end up descending into crack. It's why I sometimes joke, all RPGs should be rated 18 and up. Teenagers, oh, there they are. Yeah, they finally woke up to realize that I just pulled down their pants. Oh wait, they don't wear pants, because barbarians are, but pants are for barbarians. Alright, here they come. Ever at that moment where you go, oh, I won, that was easy, and then the real enemy shows up, you're like, oh. What's the last game I played where something like that happened? Let's see if I can marry her off to the...
You honor me.
No, I guess not.
In my lord's name.
All right. How quickly can he get here? I defeated an army of 1,000 men, and thought that was their main army. I can lay siege to the enemy capital right now. And when I arrived, 3,000 armies emerged from the capital. Yeah. In Total War, garrisons, every city has a garrison where you can't actually leave. That can't actually leave the city, but ends up being like super powerful. Meanwhile, let me see, what can this lady do? She's a bureaucrat. All right. She's alright. She's alright. Let's see, what happens if we actually put her into battle? This does seem like an appropriate time to do so. What's her name? Amane Shakete. Alright. But yeah, I'm just thinking, what was the last time something like that happened? Oh wait, it just happened recently. I'm actually trying to currently go through, slowly go through hardcore mode on Dungeons & Dragons Online, and I was playing in intro level mode when, and I was thinking, it's intro and it's on hard difficulty. This is easy. And then a randomly generated ghost appeared out of nowhere and slapped me, causing me my XP to reset. Chakate. Alright, Kadosh Ba. Let's get some axemen. Two-handed axemen. I mean, this is probably not the appropriate time to point out that double-sided axes are highly impractical. Wait, it's just one guy. What are you doing? I mean, I haven't done that much research into early Arabs. I do know, however, that there was one Roman emperor who was an Arab, Philip the Arab. I believe he was an Arab from around Lebanon or Syria. That's on one hand, and another thing is that the ancient Arabs were like legendary in terms of their misogyny, to the point that women were daughters were basically objects to be bought and sold. They were considered the property of their husbands, on one hand, and second of all, infanticide was female infanticide was pretty regular. This was actually a big win for early Islam, which is that Islam brought an end to female infanticide. But the desert breeds some very cruel people. Local bandits that often... Alright, what have they got? Arabian axemen, and spearmen, mercenary spearmen, light infantry, lots and lots of archers. Alright. Alright, come. Let's dance, loser. Let's dance. Okay.
Ready for battle. Ready for further orders.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, everyone was more for all the crap people give about degeneracy these days. People were a lot more horny in the past, I believe, because in the era when there was no TV, there was no internet, there was no Netflix to binge stream, there weren't much things to do for internet, so just people screwed like rabbits. It's like on the Discord, on a few of the Discord servers I'm on, like half of the people are single and say they want partners, but they probably aren't really interested in dating each other on the server because they aren't willing to settle. No, they aren't willing to settle. When they say they want partners, they want dream partners. They want dream partners, partners that perfectly suit them. In the past, before the rise of pornography and the rise of video games, again, being single was generally something people wanted to avoid at all costs, unless, of course, you were a nun or a monk or a Catholic priest. Because sex was one of the, I don't know, small little things in life that was one of the little things in life that kept you going through the harshness of the pre-industrial world. All right. He's been sort of a bureaucrat so far. All right. Like, we should be glad that it's actually bearable to be single now. We have the privilege that it is not that bad to be single. Like, I'm 28. I've never dated in my life, but I have never dated in my life, but you know, it's not that bad because here I am, playing a pretty cool game, hanging out with cool people like you guys. All right. Let's get ready to rumble! That's a lot of axemen. Alright. Oh, this army does not have much variety. Alright. Honestly, more people than usual have come to my stream today, so I think after this I'm going to remove the restriction that says only subscribers can chat. This is something I just temporarily put on, but largely because on Tuesday when I was streaming with Cara Malone, I was attacked by a spammer. This particular spammer. Yeah, I was attacked by a spammer who posted some like really dirty stuff in my chat and repeatedly doing it over and over again. And then when I silenced him, when I turned his chat off, he came back in different alt, and he just constantly came back over and over again. Yeah, he came back over and over again in different alts, and like, why me? What has he got? What have you got against me? But anyways, I panicked, and he kind of got what he wanted because I ended the stream, and I just for the rest of the Warhammer game I was playing with Cara, it was just from his perspective. But yeah, that sucks.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
All right. All right. These guys are pretty good against cavalry, actually, so I'm just going to slowly move my guys up. Why are you wavering? And just poke them with your spears. You've barely lost anyone. Okay, just brace for impact.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
All right, their cavalry have been softened up by have softened up by my spear skirmishers.
Missile cavalry at your command. As you wish. Archers!
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display. Javelin men!
Ready! Ready, man!
Javelin men!
All right, going to cycle charge.
Your command! We await your orders!
Withdraw! Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Our orders? As you wish.
Our men
All right,
flee
they
the
have
field of
broken.
battle.
That's good.
This is a shameful display.
Cut them down! We're ready.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
All right, just staring at each other for a while now.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
I'm just gonna. All right, so far so good.
What are your orders?
All right, just going to skirmish a bit more.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
All right, I'm going to charge and let's charge in the flanks. Slow and steady wins the race.
Missile cavalry!
Being in that field between between swords, spears, and arrows, or smoking a cigarette next to next to a tank and having a drone turn you into blood mist.
Ready for this spearman! Awaiting orders!
Good question. Unfortunately, it's a question most people throughout history have not had a choice in.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Awaiting orders!
Our general is under attack.
Advance! What are your orders? Prepare to engage! My lord!
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Double down!
Awaiting your command.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Oh, look at that jump. These guys are absolutely cooking.
Ready! Melee infantry at
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
ready! Riders, advance! Our orders! What are your orders?
And let's see how my two-handers are. What? Oh, that looks painful.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Alright, right flank has been broken through.
Field of battle. This is a shameful display.
As you wish. Orders, my lord. Cavalry, missiles ready. As you say. We await your orders. Engage. Dazzling men! Missiles at your command. At the ready. At the ready. Bleed them!
The battle is turning in our favor.
Oh, you're in trouble now.
Dazzling men! Awaiting orders.
The kid only said, "Look, Dad, they didn't hit me," to which the cap called for a retreat.
Dazzling men! On the double!
Okay, looks like their general is fighting to the death.
We await your orders. Light horse! Charge!
By your command.
Zap armor! Awaiting orders. Missile cavalry at your command. For honor! Shatter them!
Alright, that seems like it's it.
Dead.
Red for glory!
Alright, let's run down these losers.
Orders, my lord! For glory! Our orders! Ready! Axiarchos! My lord! Novice Vilman! Double tie! Shields ready! What are your orders? We are at your command! We are at your command! What are your orders? Step forward! What are your orders? Our orders! Light horse!
Alright. The Kandake's daughter has won the day. Absolute warrior princess. Damn, KD of almost 3-1. What do with now? What do I do with you? Honestly, I think I'm going to ransom them. Just see if I can make peace. No, I kind of do want to conquer those lands. Forget it. You are coming with me. All right, well, there you have it. There you have it. 4,000 versus 4,000, and battle. Oh, the people of Sudan versus the people of Arabia, just like today. Shit. Okay, but anyways, I'm going to be I'm probably going to end the stream here. My next video is actually going to be on a lesser known moment about the current well, not the current, the previous conflict in Sudan. That's sort of related to this. That's sort of related to this. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming. I mean, I feel so grateful that that so many people have come here to spend time with me. But yeah, I will probably do a few different things next week. I finally got one of those got a ski mask that doesn't cover my eyes but covers my mouth. Kind of like what Rika Paprika does for his handcam streams, so I don't have to worry about accidentally showing my face. So I'm going to do a model painting stream of Gaulish warrior models from Hail Caesar. And I'm probably going to be continuing this campaign and maybe also a Makuria campaign for medieval 1100 AD. That's basically the same, another African Sudanese civilization from the same place, but Christian. Otherwise, thanks for coming, and expect more to come.